children. Former Israeli Defense Forces spokesperson Jonathan Conricus joins me. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So the war doesn't seem to be slowing down because you've now got this activity in the north from coming from Hezbollah. Can you give me sort of an update? Because now we see this Israeli couple, 3 children killed. They're civilians. They're not terrorists. They're not military. But they've now been killed.
Yes, Greta, good evening, and thank you for having me again. It's escalating. Hezbollah continues to fire rockets and drones at Israel, sadly with effect, and Israeli civilians are paying a price for almost 9 months of Israel basically only defending against Hezbollah, and it seems as if Hezbollah is emboldened by the fact that Israel isn't striking hard at Hezbollah yet. Yes, Israel has taken out a few senior Hezbollah officials and terrorists, and yes, there's some damage in Lebanon, but the bottom line is that northern Israel is a combat zone. The Golan Heights that we see on the picture now is really a combat zone, and northern Israel is evacuated of Israeli civilians, which creates a very bad precedent for the future.
You know, it's almost unthinkable when you see the number of missiles that are fired into Israel. And I mean, even during, quote, peaceful times, I've been in Israel and they still come on, these missiles are still fired. Well before October 7th, they were firing them last summer in July when I was there. You know, it seems that at some point they've almost got to run out, but there's just so much money they've gotten from Iran, and they've been stockpiling this so much, it seems like it's just an endless supply.
Yes, there is no shortage neither of rockets or anti-tank missiles or attack drones. Hezbollah and Hamas and the other Iranian proxies are well stocked. And really what we're seeing is the result of an Israeli strategy and policy that has allowed these enemies to establish themselves so close to Israel's border and to have such a quantity of sophisticated weaponry aimed at Israeli civilians. And I think that after October the 7th, there's definitely room to reevaluate that strategy that Israel has been conducting against Iran and its proxies.
Meanwhile, the 4 miles of tunnels that were just destroyed under Gaza City, it's like, you know, they've been digging those tunnels for years and years and years. I mean, the level of sophistication that, you know, it's stunning, and the cost of that is, unless you live in the area, in the region, it's just shocking that people are spending that much time underground like rats digging tunnels to kill people.
Yeah, there is the Gaza above ground, which was administered by UNRWA, the UN refugee agency, paid for by US taxpayer dollars. And then that allowed Hamas to focus 90% of its efforts underground to build this vast, elaborate network of tunnels that Israel is now slowly chipping away and discovering and dismantling. And this is just, I'm sad to say, just a small percentage of the infrastructure. Israel still has a lot of work because we're talking about many years of digging and building tunnel networks under Gaza, not for the sake of the civilians and not for the sake of protecting them from Israel, but only for the sake of fighting against Israel and for allowing terrorists to hide under the civilians. And that, by the way, is one of the main reasons why there are so many civilian casualties in Gaza, because the terrorists hide under the civilians, and whenever the IDF gets their hands on the terrorists, it's usually after a layer of civilians is unfortunately caught in the middle, and that's so many times is underreported in international media.
Jonathan Conricus, thank you, sir.